got to talk about Snoop. Snoop called for a strike, for artists to strike.
Yep.
This comes at the time where we are currently discussing a writer's strike.
Yep.
People who are a part of the Writers and Actors Guild. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, but it's really interesting that Snoop got into this conversation, and so let's play the clip.
You get paid off of that. Can somebody explain to me how you can get 1 billion streams and not get $1 million? That don't make sense to me. I don't know who's running the streaming industry, but you need to give us some information on how to track this money down. Because 1 + 1 ain't adding up to 2. That don't add up. And I have to say it because that's the main gripe with a lot of us artists is that we do major numbers with stream, but it don't add up to the money. When I first came out, my records would sell based off of physical. If you sold 1 million copies, that means $9.99, $9 million. You get this percentage. That's what it is. So if I sell how many streams, how much money do I get? It's not being translated, and it's not working for the artist like that. And we need to find a way to figure that out. The same way the writers are striking because streaming, they can't get paid. Because when it's on the platform, it's not like in the box office. In the box office, if it does all these numbers, you may get an up. Oh, it did this minute, here's another check. But on streaming, you got 300,000 hours and somebody watched your movie. Where's the money? This is business. This is a room full of business people, and somebody may hear this and be able to do something about it so that way the next artist don't have to struggle or cry or try to figure out how to get to his money. Because some of these artists are streaming millions and millions and millions and millions of streams, and they don't got no millions of dollars in their pocket. Streaming gotta get.
Amen.
I mean, he said it. I don't know. I don't know how to follow that up because he said it. I think that there's a long-standing conversation about streams and what they're worth.
Yep.
You know, I won't name any names or anything like that because, you know.
Political connects.
Yep.
Listen, the writers are on point. Okay? They know they get paid very little per word. You okay?
I poked myself in the eye.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh my God.
You good?
Yeah, I kind of like scratched it.
Oh, it's okay. Take a second.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go. You don't have a lot of time.
The writers are on point. Mm-hmm. And they know they get paid very little per dollar, very little per word that they write. And there are other things that they are not being compensated for.
Right.
I know you told me AI is part of the conversation. I know that streaming / all of these apps having their movies, them not being paid properly are part of the conversation. And we just spoke about Marvel. There are already shows that have stopped production, movies that have stopped production in Marvel because of the writing strike. I'm all for it. Yeah. I don't give a fuck what show or movie gets ruined. It could come out later. They could pause it, whatever. It happened before.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
No, and it's necessary. People got to get paid for their hard work.
I'm trying to get paid for mine. So I'm not knocking anybody's hustle. I'm not knocking anybody who's trying to just simply, and it sounds so simple, right? To get paid what you're worth, right. Especially if the money's there.
Of course.
And so many people, whether it be writers or in any other industry, so many people get paid well below what they are worth.
Yeah.
So I am all for it. I think make your demands and make them loud and clear and come to an agreement and a decision that everybody can agree on. Like I have nothing bad to say. I did want to point out the AI part of it, because I know we talked a lot about AI
last episode. And while you find that, I agree with Snoop, and I agree with Joe, who said it years ago. a 6-month stoppage of all music would change the industry.
Right.
It's going to be hard because so many people rely on it for income, but if you bite the bullet for a few months, you could benefit way more after.
And you're hearing a lot of writers say too, like, I don't necessarily write because it pays well. I write because I'm good at it. I like to do it. I'm creative. I have a lot of thoughts and I have a lot of things to say, and the way I do that is through storytelling. And that should not diminish your worth.
No.
Just because you do something because you like it, you're probably honestly putting in a lot more because you like it.
Of course.
So why wouldn't you get paid your worth?
And not only that, the conglomerates need these artists, these writers, these producers. These are the people that make your industry what it is today.
I mean, they're talking about, I know you said you saw a sign that said they'll ruin the end of Succession.
Oh, yeah. At the writers, there was a sign, somebody said, pay us or we'll ruin the ending of Succession.
Yeah, there's so many reasons to support this. I know that a lot of people who are not necessarily directly affected, but also or I shouldn't say not direct, who may be affected, but not directly. Like, there's certain people who can survive without writers, right? Like, a television show like Succession can't. No. There's a writer's room. Like, the whole show is contingent upon these people writing this script. But something like Jimmy Fallon, where Jimmy Fallon is already a comedian, he can do his show essentially without writers if he really wanted to. Right. But what we're finding is that a lot of people like that, like I heard Drew Barrymore named as someone who she decided not to host the MTV Awards over the weekend because she wanted to stand with the writers.
I applaud that.
So she decided not to host it. I don't know who ended up hosting it, but she didn't do it. And there have been a lot of other celebrities who have come out and said, I'm gonna not do this, or my show, I'll put my show on hold, or whatever it is, in solidarity with the writers. And I that's some real shit, because sometimes that's what you need. Like, again, certain jobs tend to be very thankless, right? And being a writer versus being the star of the show, like, we see the star of the show, so we tend to advocate for those people a whole lot more. It's really important for those people who we see on a day-to-day basis to advocate for the people who we don't see behind the scenes, because it makes that much more of an impact. So,
of course. And and like you said, it can't exist without them. Right.
I do want to just read what Vanity Fair said in regards to the AI portion, because I just think it's really interesting. Yeah. So they said that among the list of demands the WGA is asking for, which include better pay and larger writers' rooms, the most important topic is, and the person who wrote it said to me, is the demand that the studios agree not to use AI to write or rewrite stories. Though the guild has said it's okay for writers to use it as a tool. And they said that the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, which represents the studios and networks, rejected this proposal, saying the group representing the studios would be open to offering a manual meeting to discuss advancements in technology. So they don't want to, I mean, it's probably cheaper for them. Get rid of some writers, use AI to write stuff, which I just think is so bizarre for people. And I know what you're going to say, because I mean, you're my co-host. Of course I know what you're going to say. I the fact that people in TV and film would want this shit to be digitally generated is ridiculous to me. But when I say I know what you're gonna say it's all about the money. It has nothing to do with the integrity of,
they don't give a fuck. They don't care.
I get that, but
all they care is about their bottom line. That's all they care about. If Succession if whatever's the new show that branches off from Succession, if they could have one writer and 5 bots, of course they're gonna choose that over 6 writers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I totally understand.
I don't agree with it, but that's all the companies care about,
Right.
and that's the problem.
But we don't agree with it because we're creators.
But it just doesn't make sense.
Well, and
that,
it doesn't. But
because I'm a person who believes in quality over quantity.
agree.
And I know I have 5 podcasts, and so that may seem like contradictory, but we're talking about art.
That are all in the show notes.
Facts. We're talking about art.
Yeah.
Film is another form of art. And so all of these different TV is another form of art.
Yep.
All of these different art forms, they can't exist without the human mind. And so if you want
No.
to use algorithms and patterns and data to create shit that the spreadsheet says people will like or is similar enough for people to like, then that's fine. That's up to you as a conglomerate. That's your choice. But why would you not want to pay niggas? Like, it's just such a shitty thing to do.
They make
Because they make so much money
hundreds
from these
of
people's art.
millions of dollars.
They make billions. And so
it's insane to me. It's disgusting. But I hope that they come to the agreement that they want, or at least get to some sort of compromise that works for them. I think it is important. I think the fact that they had the foresight to talk about AI.
Oh, yeah, they're smart.
AI has become so prevalent.
That
So
was really smart.
I feel like this AI thing went from, whispers about AI to now, like, over the course of, I would say over the last 6 months or so, it has just been everywhere.
Yep.
So I think it's really important that they put that in there now and don't wait until it's too late and they have to try to retroactively deal with that.
Yeah.
So, but it sucks. It does. It sucks. And I hope they figure it out. That being said, we have one final thing to talk about.